Normally, it is a little quieter for the in-person attendance. We do have some online usually as well. So you are all good. It's not uncommon to see it this way. Go ahead, and you're welcome to sit wherever you think will work best. But really, we're just going to be taking a quick peek at kwbresources.com and understanding everything that's available to you as a resource through that website. Trying to make sure real quick that my microphone is working. Dalton, can you hear me okay? You can drop it in the chat if that's easier. Cool. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure because I was like, this does not look like it's doing what I want it to. Thank you. Okay, so really what we're doing is, like I said, we're just going to take a quick peek at KWB resources today because this is going to be our office resources site. And I want to make sure, of course, that you guys know where you can access all of the resources available to you as an agent in our office. So when you arrive at kwbresources.com, just know that this is a public facing website. So it's always easy for you guys to have access to it. The first few things I like to show you are just kind of as we're moving forward through the entire site. I will let you know there are different ways that you can pull to the same information very easily. So if at any point in time you guys do have any, so I'll try, first and foremost, I'll try to show you the most convenient ways to access everything more than show you some complicated way to try and remember. But also please know that of course you are welcome to ask questions at any point in time. Dalton, if it's easy for you to message those in the chat for any reason, or if you want to jump on the overheads, I can hear you as well. So just let me know if you've got any questions if you're online, and then same in person, just let me know. So we'll just go ahead and get started. The first thing I always share with you guys as brand new agents, of course, is the new agent tab here. If you select the new agent tab, it's going to open up to some resources immediately, very relevant to you as a brand new agent. On the left-hand side, if you select this Learn More button, it really just takes you quickly through an overview of the onboarding process. Gives you an idea of everything that you're asked during your onboarding period, the information we're looking for, and kind of gives you a timetable as well, who you can be expecting to hear from and at what point in time. The other reason I like to share this with you guys is because at the bottom here, you'll see that there are some things you can begin doing immediately. And the first, obviously, is to browse kwbresources.com. So we'll do that together today for the first time. We've got checking out the office training calendar, which is also posted to this website. So we'll be able to take a look at that together as well. Joining Ignite, also on our calendar, that's going to be a phenomenal foundation opportunity for you guys to launch your real estate career off of. So if you are looking for any kind of insight as to what the day-to-day of a realtor looks like, whether you're brand new or really honestly, it's recommended for anyone averaging fewer than 16 transactions in a year. So if you guys feel like you've got some room to grow, we would love to have you in for Ignite. We launch again on May 1st, and you'll see that on our calendar. I'll also share with you a few Facebook pages today that I recommend joining as a new agent in our office. And of course, you'll see attending office meetings listed there as well, which thank you guys. You obviously have attended an office meeting, so I appreciate that. This is the first of many, I hope. But I will jump us kind of back just to that new agent tab now that we've reviewed that quick checklist. On the right-hand side, you'll see there's a Learn More button located under Basic Training. This will take you to Scott Leroy Marketing's website. Scott Leroy Marketing, for those of you who do not know, they are the ones who've created your Keller Williams technology setup. They create your email address, your website, and then do even more. So not only do they create the initial setup for you, they are also a valuable resource as well that you can refer back to at any point in time. They're here to support you in addition to our wonderful tech coordinators in-house. And only because of where we show up on this website, I'm going to show you briefly this search feature here is very, very helpful, guys. If you just searched, for example, QR code, I know QR codes are very popular nowadays, especially with print marketing and social media. So if at any point you guys are trying to create a QR code yourselves and aren't quite sure what that process looks like, you can go through Scott Leroy Marketing to create one. And all you have to do right here is click this create QR code or QR code creation form. It's going to take you to a quick basically form online. It's just asking you your name, your email, so they can get that code back to you, and then provide the link that you're trying to create this QR code for, and they'll take care of the rest. And truly, I have used them before. I've gotten QR codes back from them within an hour. So it's a very helpful resource for anyone interested. Of course, if you've got some familiarity with how to create one yourself, you're not required to go through Scott Leroy Marketing, but it is a very helpful tool. I will also point out like one or two other things on this site. This is one of a great example of a website you could easily get lost in just doing even more. And out of respect for your time, I'm really going to focus on just a couple key points. The first is actually going to be this agent resources tab. If you select agent resources, guys, it used to be a drop down menu automatically. Now it is a little bit more secure because they want to make sure that those who are accessing their resources are actual partners of their company. Sorry, I'm like losing my words today. I know what I want to say, it's just not coming out of my mouth. So when you do click on the agent resources, this is what will immediately populate. It's just going to ask you to type in our market center number. A number you will see very, very often is 350. That's our market center number. So you'll type in 350, and when you hit enter, it will now open up so that this agent resources button at the top of the screen has a drop down option. So what I like to show you guys is the training and then the training calendar. Reason I do this is obviously as real estate agents, your schedules can look vastly different from someone else in the room. So in the event that that is true for you and maybe you've got a slightly more complex schedule, it's important to know that there's opportunities for you to get some assistance and some training, especially with your KW technology at points that may be more convenient for you. In-house, we usually offer Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 o'clock. Our tech coordinators will be teaching trainings, whether that's in person or online or both, typically both. So you can expect that here in the office. However, 1 to 2 o'clock. Yep, Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. However, if you guys obviously maybe have that more complex schedule and Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you're a little bit more available than you are Tuesday, Thursday. We see that all the time. So what you can take advantage of is Scott Leroy Marketing actually has a training calendar that they offer. It's a live calendar. You just have to keep scrolling down here. And they offer Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 o'clock a live tech training. Know that this obviously will be done through Zoom. You wouldn't be sitting in a room with a live instructor. However, you can see that they touch on different topics. Jules and Leah do the same, but theirs are usually on a week-to-week basis. So you'll be able to view what their topics of discussion are on our calendar. However, if you were looking for something specific and maybe Jules and Leah haven't talked about it recently or just talked about it and you missed it, but you really want to make sure you're understanding how you can work out some print marketing ahead of your first open house, absolutely, this is where you can find a lot of that information and instruction. And you're learning from a fantastic resource, guys. They partner very closely with several hundred KW offices throughout the nation. So something to keep in mind, the Zoom link will be right there. It's as simple as clicking on it to join the live meeting. But this will give you an idea of everything they're talking about. So you guys can kind of supplement your tech training. Even if you predominantly take things in person, you'll be able to fill in a little bit more with some additional training if that's what you're looking for. That's part of why I share this with you. The other thing I like to share with you while we're on Scott Leroy Marketing's website is this store option. So if you look at the store drop down, honestly, you can even just click right on store. It will take you to agentstore.com. Agentstore.com is again through Scott Leroy Marketing. This is a part through our partnership, really. This is a great resource for anyone looking to order business cards and name tags and things of that nature to get you up and running with KW. So in the event that that speaks to you and maybe you're not the most creative naturally and you're just looking for something that's going to do the job, because I want to start talking to people about how I'm with Keller Williams tomorrow. I don't want to wait too long. Agent Store has some quick and easy template options essentially for those business cards. It's as simple as selecting Valentine and Keller Williams as your affiliated office. It will open up, it will even pre-populate some of our information in there. I will ask you guys now that we're in a new office, please just double check and make sure the office address is correct based off our new location. It should be at this point in time, but in the event that it is not, I don't want anyone to just mindlessly print and then find out the hard way that it was the old address. But it will ask you to input just a few bits of your information, including your name. Some of the templates offer you the opportunity to include a headshot, and you can really just continue to add any specific information for yourself. But the template just makes it that much faster a process. Maybe rather than spending hours designing something, you can go in and knock something out in about 20 minutes. And that's still generous. So I believe in you guys. If that is something that really speaks to you, please utilize it as a resource. The other reason I introduced this to you is because the Agent Store offers a competitive price point. For me personally, 500 business cards only costed, I think it was $39. This was a couple years ago. So $39. It might be a little bit different now, but I know that their price points have stayed relatively low. So just something to consider if you're looking again for a quick and easy option, especially to get you started. That's a great choice. They also offer name tags and similar packages that you can do for your marketing. The other thing I would mention, just because we are speaking about business cards specifically, is if you are a provisional broker in the state of North Carolina, that means that you are required to get approval on your business card design from our BIC associate, Tasha Viney. Her contact information will be displayed further into the website we'll be looking at today. So we'll get to that in a little while here. But the big thing is just understanding that there is a you are required to get her approval. The easiest way would either be to stop by her office or to send her a quick picture of it. And that way, really what we're doing is we're just ensuring you are not printing something and then finding out you can't use it. That would be the worst case scenario. And we would like to avoid that if possible, just to save you guys some time and headache. If you guys are broker status, you have a little bit more flexibility and freedom. With that, I still always encourage you, if you have questions specifically, please ask her any of them. However, we also have advertising guidelines that are posted to our website as well to help give you guys an additional idea of what you need to have on your marketing and what you cannot have on your marketing. So with all that being said, I am going to take us right back to KWB resources. We are still under that new agent tab. We already talked about the getting started in the basic training. If you were to scroll a little bit lower here, you will arrive at those Facebook pages. I'll let you know right now that in terms of KW Ballantyne, these are our two most active Facebook pages. We do obviously have connections to the Charlotte Area Realtor Network. So if you guys are not part of the Carolinas region Facebook or things like that, it would be absolutely beneficial to be part of those as well. But the top two I like to reference specifically are the first being an internal Facebook page. It's just our agents and our leadership team. This is an opportunity for you guys to connect with the 500 plus agent body that we have very seamlessly, because it is through social media, and technology is wonderful in that regard. What you will also notice is that I am on there constantly posting about the upcoming events and trainings we have, including the description about the event and also the sign up link required should there be a sign up required. You'll be able to get plugged into anything of interest really quickly and easily. The other point with the connecting with our agents is, of course, you're welcome to ask questions. I see on there commonly people are asking, hey, I've got a client who's searching for a home in Connecticut. They're looking particularly in this area. Has anyone worked with a rock star agent out in that area of Connecticut? And people in our office are so truly embracing the collaboration and the efforts to help everyone succeed. They will start dropping screenshots of contacts in their phone for these agents so you can immediately connect with them. So it's a very simple process. Same thing if you were looking for something specific in MLS and maybe there wasn't a ton that was matching your buyer's criteria, it may be worthwhile to ask if anyone's got something coming soon that you could then reach out to them for further information about. So it's a great way for you to get connected with everyone all at once. We also have the Strategic Alliance Partners Facebook page right below, and that is going to be our vendor Facebook page. So at Keller Williams Ballantyne, we do have a preferred vendor program. With that being said, all of these vendors have been vetted by other KW Ballantyne agents, meaning that you can trust the services and products that they offer because they have been proven through other agents that they do a great job. So if you guys are looking, especially as brand new agents, it's tough to be an expert in everything and to be able to pull all of this information to help out your client right away. So maybe if you have not ever had to call an electrician yourself in Charlotte, that's good for you. But maybe you're also wondering who's a quality electrician I can put them in contact with. If you join that Facebook page, that's going to again be our agents and our preferred vendor partners. Our vendor partners are constantly on there referring to the services they're offering. They're talking about the different promotions that they're running. So it's a great way for you guys to get plugged in and find out who does what and start building those relationships. We'll also have an access to a live spreadsheet with all of their information. We'll talk about that shortly. But just so you are aware, those are the two Facebook pages I immediately encourage you to join. If you're in productivity coaching, you also will have a productivity coaching Facebook group that you can join in addition. So if you have not already heard of that, it should be coming to you when you first introduced to your coach. But if you've not seen that and you've got questions, you can email me or you can email Michelle and we'll make sure that you're on that page. A little bit lower down, Kellerisms. I will not bother to click on it just yet, but that is actually a breakdown. It's an entire different PDF breakdown of all the language used at Keller Williams. You may notice, even if you have experience in the industry, there's some terminology that's thrown around here that may not exist outside of these doors. And we fully understand that. That's actually part of our very encompassing culture here and as developed as it's become. If you're not sure what a 145 is, I don't blame you. It's not like it really alludes to much in the title. So if you're wondering what that really translates to, you'll be able to find direct definitions in the colorisms breakdown to learn a little bit more about what you're hearing talked about. In the event that you guys have questions, you're of course welcome to ask our staff. There's no need to be shy. But I know also that some of you guys are night owls, so you might be looking at this at like 9 p.m. In that case, I will not probably see your email, so do check the colorism sheet. It's here to help you guys. A little lower here, again, this is still under the new agent tab, just really encompassing a lot of the relevant information for you. We understand that KW technology is built for KW and by KW. So what that means is, again, whether you're experienced or not, if you've not been with KW before, you have no idea what this technology is. And that's okay because it's new to everyone who walks into Keller Williams. So don't feel like that's, going to stop you in any sense. But I understand it's a little additional hurdle that we'll have to jump. So if you guys are looking for some clarity, I know actually, Joanne, we talked about this yesterday. Answers.kw.com is going to be a great resource for you guys. It is a website through Keller Williams where you can go in and specifically direct what platform you're referring to, and then you can search keywords for help articles to populate, and it will allow you to read through any answers that you're looking for, whether you're trying to do something for the first time or you're having issues trying to do something. Maybe something's hanging up on you and you're not quite sure why. Answers.kw.com is going to be a great resource for you guys to get frequently asked questions about command and see the answers and help articles posted for them. Yes, ma'am? To find all of this information. So you could, it's a whole different website. You could actually just search answers.kw.com in your web URL browser. So yeah, that'll take you right where you want to go. Or of course you could click on any of those buttons and it will take you to the web page itself, whatever's more convenient to you when you're doing it. But so answers.kw.com is going to have all of those answers and more. Again, it's if it matches your learning style, that's always the biggest thing is we want to make sure that of course the training and the help you're receiving is going to be compatible with your learning styles. So we will have a couple other options out there in addition for how you guys can help to navigate command, especially when you're trying to kind of self-learn as you're doing things for the first time. In the event that maybe you didn't see a class done by Jules and Leah on it, there are still opportunities for you guys to figure things out with no issue at all. A sister website, just for your information, is ideas.kw.com. It's not posted here, but ideas.kw.com is actually built up entirely about your feedback and suggestions for command and similar platforms. So if you're realizing that as you're navigating command, especially those of you who are either brand new or you've got experience with another firm, if you're realizing that, hey, this is a great platform, I just really think it would be a little bit more convenient if that particular button was featured on this next screen here. Simple things like that, they are looking for that information to make sure that command is an efficient and user-friendly platform. So in the event you've got any suggestions to provide, please do. You'll just share them at ideas.kw.com. A little bit lower, there will be access to download digital materials for Ignite. So if you guys are taking Ignite, you can click this button right here and it will go give you the digital materials. There's also a way to access that information from our training calendar. If you continue scrolling, this will be, again, one of the ways you can get to our calendar, but I will show you the easiest way in just a moment here. So we'll bypass that portion because this is a lot of memorization so far. We're digging, we're scrolling. I'm not going to give you that complex way to get to something you're going to be referencing that frequently. But at the very bottom here, how to book a conference room. This is, again, a good bit of scrolling, but if you just hover over this more drop down menu here, you'll see schedule a conference room right here in there as well. Both go to the same location. This will take you to a third-party site called sketa.com, and it will open up basically to a spreadsheet that encompasses all of our conference rooms. It will specify the title or the number of the conference room at the top row, and it will basically across that x-axis really. And then what you'll also see is that we'll specify with each conference room the capacity that it holds. That way you guys have an idea of what you're looking at and if that room is going to accommodate what you're using it for. In addition, down the y-axis, you'll also see all of the available time slots. So it's very easy to drag and drop. The biggest thing is we have 5 different conference rooms here and 2 focus rooms. Our conference rooms are obviously intended for more than one person. So we actually ask that But if you are using them, please do. They're a free resource for you, but you're using them more for collaboration. Whether it's a consultation with a coach or a client, whether it's a private conversation you're having, go ahead and use the conference rooms when it's going to be more than just yourself in the room. Even if it's just partnering up with another agent briefly, that's absolutely fine. You're able to book those conference rooms for 2 hours at a time during the day. Um, the focus rooms, as a contrary, are actually more independent workspaces. So they are very small offices actually located just outside of this back training room door here. They are small little offices with one desk, and it really is kind of just big enough for one person. So in the event you're looking for a private space where you can sit down and lead generate or cold call really quickly, whatever that looks like for you, maybe you just need to have a personal conversation really quickly on the phone and you don't want too many people to hear your end of it. That's absolutely fine. The focus rooms are available again 2 hours at a time. So it's very easy to reserve those through the same website. Just decide what you think would be most appropriate given what you're doing. And then the only other thing that I think I usually mention with the conference rooms is, well, actually, you know what? I think I covered it all. I think I covered it all. Normally, I would give you a little bit more because they're at the old office, we had cubicles and all things. I'm still getting used to like my script changed a little bit with the new office. So thank you. So this is going to be how you guys will reserve conference rooms. I am an admin on this particular third party site. So in the event you guys had difficulty booking a conference room for any reason, just email me or call me and I'm happy to go in for you and make that reservation or help to correct what reservation you've got on file. That's an easy process. But this does reach the bottom of that new agent button that we began on. So I will take us back now to our home page. And again, all the information we've covered thus far was accessible to you just using this new agent button right here in the middle. If we continue to scroll down though, now that we're back to our homepage, you will come across, and I apologize. So the interesting thing about our website is it's purely based off the dimensions of your monitor. It normally is not overlapping like this at all on my computer when I am doing all the corrections to the website. So I apologize that it's showing that way now, but I'm pretty sure that when you guys go on your personal laptops, you won't have that issue. I think my TV is just a little too big and it doesn't like it today. But basically this will show you again our staff directory. It gives you an idea of who is on our leadership team, what each of us is responsible for, and it also gives you our email addresses just to make it one step easier should you need to reach out to us for anything. We're all here to help support you guys, and especially that first year, we want to really see you guys succeed and succeed quickly, just because that's always so joyous for you guys, and we kind of live vicariously a little bit through that joy. So if there's anything we can do to assist you along the way, we're happy to do it. So just keep us in touch with you and let us know what we can do to help out. But after you've kind of scrolled through all of the staff directory, you will arrive at what's called our can't miss video of the week. The irony of this is it has been here for months because of how effective it is. And it's not because, I promise it's not because we're lazy. It's because we actually think that this is one of the best videos that we can recommend to a brand new KW agent. Again, not necessarily new to real estate, but new to Keller Williams. This is going to be a great video because it's going to show you how to ensure that your command and your DocuSign account are linked. So that way, when you're in your CRM and you go to start a transaction, it's that easy to get those forms populated right into your command from DocuSign and vice versa. We want to make sure that when you're getting those electronic signatures, that it's very easy to get those published into your CRM. So that is going to be a great video. It's 25 minutes long. The beauty of it is that you guys can watch this at any point it's convenient to you and when you're trying to kind of figure that out for yourselves. But it will cover both platforms and how they're communicating with each other so you can make sure all of your technology is set up correctly prior to you even having that first transaction. Because my biggest thing is I always, always, always emphasize learning ahead as best you can. If nothing else, it will save you the frenzy, the frantic, and the stress in the moment that you just don't need on top of everything else. Save you the steps, save you the headache. We will try to learn ahead, and that way we are in a better place. By the time that we have that first transaction, we know exactly what to do, or we've got very minimal questions. So we're just feeling a lot more confident and comfortable for it. That's what's important to us. So that is a video I highly encourage anybody to watch, especially those new to Keller Williams. Little bit lower down, you will eventually arrive at our office training calendar. The fastest way to arrive at it would actually be to click this tab at the top. It will do all the scrolling for you and pull you right to where you want to go. But the reason I share the office calendar with you, and I'll tell you a little secret, is that Jules May on our tech coordinators. She created this little kind of shortcut. This is the best feature that is on our page, in my opinion. If you click there, it just makes it so much easier to visualize what's on our calendar. So this way you guys can really open it up and see what we've got going on in a given week, a given day, a given month. You can even fast forward into future months and see what's on the calendar for later. That way you guys can start planning accordingly, adding things to your calendar and time blocking so that you know you're available to attend an event or a training that's exciting to you. But with this office training calendar, you'll see that we've got several different recurring trainings. I'll give you a hint. The ones that recur are usually the really valuable ones that we really want you guys to take advantage of as brand new agents, especially. You'll notice that there's some that are monthly, some that are weekly. And the reason they're there like that is because we think that as we're onboarding agents, we always want that information to be in front of you and have opportunities for you to plug into it. So Tech Tuesdays, how to get paid faster, that's taught by our compliance coordinator. She's teaching you how to make sure all of your documents get uploaded and uploaded correctly so that when you get that first commission check, guys, you can be paid right away. No hesitation at all there. There's also going to be, for example, I believe it is 2 Mondays away, actually. Bulletproof the Transaction. That is going to be Tasha Viney, our big associate, leading that class. Another great one. So please take a look at this calendar. Those are just some of the recurring meetings, not to mention all the special events and trainings we bring in that are absolutely wonderful. We've got a lunch and learn next Thursday that's happening, and that's where a vendor will come in and speak a little bit more about what they do and how you guys can become experts given the knowledge they'll share with you. So they're going to give you a little bit so that you can glean some information from them, and they're going to give you lunch. I mean, that's really a win-win in my opinion. So it's as simple as clicking on any given event on this calendar, and we'll do the lunch and learn, for example, and you can read through the course description, anything that's listed about the event. And then if you need to register at all, a registration link will be posted to the bottom. So it's very easy for you guys to secure your seat. And that way you can know too that there will be enough lunch for everybody. That's the big thing also. So some of these less so with the special events, but some of the recurring trainings you'll see are available through Zoom, this being a great example. So if you ever needed the Zoom link, things like that will also be shared in the calendar descriptions. So keep that in mind. Another thing just to point out, because I happen to be looking at it, is if anyone is in need of CE, I know that's something that is very relevant, and we are readily approaching June because 2024 has flown by. So if you guys are needing to get connected with CE, we do have some CE coming in-house on Monday, next Monday. You guys are still welcome to sign up for this. It's as simple, again, read through the description, make sure it's the class you're looking for, and you can register there. Each class that we're having is 2. We'll have an ethics class. We will also have a Gen Up class that's going to cover a lot of your requirements. You can click on the registration link. Each is $39. So you guys can come in for, I think it's going to come out to, what is that, $78? So you're coming in pretty cheap, all things considered. That's a good win right there. You'll knock it out in one day, and I'll make sure that you get breakfast and lunch out of it too. So just incentivizing a little bit. If anyone needs it, really, I just want to make sure everyone's got their CE since we are coming up on June. But this is going to be a great resource, guys. And I can't reiterate enough the importance and value of just checking in regularly and seeing what we've got coming up. If you're looking to practice your listing presentations, that's also shared right there. Starting tomorrow, there's a listing presentation workshop. So come in, meet with a top producing agent in our office, and learn how you can tweak your presentation to be the best and win that seller every time. This is an opportunity you can bring in your current listing presentation, and you can then present it and get feedback directly on your specific presentation, or you can come in and just observe and glean a little bit from what you're hearing of others and figure out how you want to adjust yours later based off of what you gathered from that experience. So again, great calendar, always something going on in Valentine, as I like to say. So please plug in as often as possible. We have all the resources you need to succeed in your real estate career, but as an entrepreneur, it is up to you guys to take advantage of them. So please join us for as much as is interesting to you personally and professionally. We'd love to have you. This calendar is kind of my baby, so to speak. So if at any point in time you're realizing you've got questions about what's on the calendar, or maybe you're not seeing something correctly, please email me, call me. I'm happy to give you some more information if I've got anything to share. But typically speaking, I will be able to kind of be your go-to for the calendar. But I'll close out of this. Again, lots to explore, guys, and I recommend starting there as your next step. If we scroll a little bit lower down, again, I did kind of talk a little bit about some of those recurring meetings. This is highlighting just a handful of them and giving you a little bit more information about what they are and when you can expect the next. So that's just a little bit of description. And for time's sake, I'll let you read through that at your convenience. But we'll come back down here. Just so you can see, this is our wonderful broker in charge, Miss Sabra Romeo. Sabra also has a wonderful right-hand man or woman, and her name is Tasha Viney. Tasha Viney is in-house 3 days a week. As you can see here, her office hours are posted. Her office is actually just a little bit further into the back hallway if we were on this side of the office. So you guys will be able to reach out to Tasha and stop by her office. Her door is almost always open if she is available. So please keep that in mind. She is always accessible for those questions. Sabra is unfortunately not in the office as commonly, and that's part of why Tasha's got posted office hours. The big thing is you can go to either woman with a lot of great questions. Obviously, they're both so knowledgeable. They're both so patient and kind. That's the big thing to reiterate. However, what I always encourage is, just because we have so many agents in our office, if your question is a little bit more administrative and not so much time sensitive, or especially if it's not a legal situation that's happening, Tasha Viney can absolutely be your go-to because she does have a lot of incredible knowledge. Sabra is going to be your go-to for those more legal questions. If my hair is on fire, my transaction is burning apart as we speak, go directly to Sabra, let her kind of remedy the situation as best she can. But either woman is here to absolutely help you guys in your career. They are wonderful. Like I said, very patient and very kind. And if you are wondering, hey, I know Liz just mentioned CE. I wonder if I've got all my CE taken care of. There are some posted guides and charts here, guys, just to make sure that you have an understanding of where you're at with your license currently and what you may need to still accomplish by a certain deadline in order to renew it for the following year. Again, this is really just a resource if you're not quite sure what those requirements look like. It gives you step by steps on what the requirements are for each state depending on where you live. And it also can explain to you how you can log in to the North Carolina Real Estate Commission, for example, and then see exactly where you're at with your current credits for those hours that you've sat through. And you'll see right away if there's a big fat zero, you'll need to obviously take that class, but it'll give you a great understanding of where you're at in the renewal process. A little bit lower down, you will come across our Agent Leadership Council. Our Agent Leadership Council is also known as our ALC, and that's usually what you'll hear them referred to as. But these are some top producing agents in our office, guys. And what they've done is they all balance successful businesses on their backs, but they are volunteering a little bit more of their time to represent different committees here at Ballantine. The reason they do that is, of course, because we want to make sure Ballantine is the most special place to call home that it can be. So they are here to make sure that we are constantly doing great things and paying attention, of course, to the feedback from our agents and implementing it so that we can make sure Ballantine is the best place to call home. So you'll see here we do have different co-chairs for different committees. Social and KW Cares Committee, they're planning our fun parties and they're our charitable arm. So if you've got any questions or maybe you want to actually speak with them about joining their committee, you're welcome to do that and they would love to get connected with you. So all of their names and emails are posted here to make it that much easier to connect with them. We also have career development and DEI. And so our career development is focusing on the trainings that are brought into the office. So we meet with them once a month as leadership to make sure that we're keeping our calendar full and exciting. And we're taking feedback from our agents to make sure that we are encompassing what they're looking for on our training calendar. So those are going to be both of our career development co-chairs. We also do have growth committee, and growth committee is focusing on building your downline so you can build passive income through profit share. So if you're wondering how you can spread the word about the opportunities at Keller Williams so that you can build that downline, you'll want to get connected with our growth committee. Each of these individuals meets once a month, usually on the first Tuesday. All of this is on the calendar. So if you guys ever wanted, again, to hear the conversations they're having to potentially join the committee, you guys absolutely can. You'll just pay attention to when their next meeting is or get in touch with them via email and they'll happily connect with you and chat with you more. The other thing to mention is that once a month, usually on the third Tuesday, again, you'll see it on the calendar, our ALC is collectively getting together and they're making decisions on behalf of Ballantine. So they sit down with our team leader, they sit down with our MCA, and they have bigger decisions. And they're here to help represent your voices as our agent body. So For example, at one point in time, this was years ago, but when we actually, I think it was we decreased, we lowered our cap. That conversation was one that we had with ALC. Before we immediately implemented that decision as leadership, we referred to our ALC to get their feedback as agents to make sure that all the decisions we're making are representative of your desires as our agents. So great people to get to know. Again, top producers. So always feel free to tap them on the shoulder in the hall and they'll help answer any questions you may have. We've also got our wonderful productivity coaches here. We've got 5 different productivity coaches in our program. So as a brand newly licensed agent, especially our solo agents, you guys are auto enrolled into our coaching program because we feel that that additional support really helps to set your business up for success and launch you off the ground. So each of these productivity coaches will meet weekly, and part of your initial onboarding, you'll get an email from Lynn Davis asking you what weekly meeting time works best, and then she'll go ahead and assign you to that coach. But again, they're here to help make sure your businesses are set up for success, guys. They're talking to you about lead generation tactics. They're talking to you about goal setting. They're holding you accountable to those goals, which I think is one of the biggest value adds that they offer because it is hard to stay accountable sometimes on your own. You could be really disciplined, but it's tricky, even for the best of us. The other thing is obviously if you're new to coaching, there's an intro to coaching class. You'll see it's next Tuesday. It got moved actually recently, but you'll see it on the training calendar. If you've not attended intro to coaching, please do because that's where Michelle Amador is going to get together with you. She oversees our coaching program and she's going to give you a ton more information about the value of coaching and what it can do for your business and what you can expect as a new agent in our coaching program. The second portion or the second pillar of mentorship, so to speak, that we offer at Valentine is a transaction partner, sometimes also referred to as a T group partner. Transaction partners are here to help emphasize the value, the content, and how you can fill out those contracts and forms. That's a whole other beast in and of itself sometimes. So again, these are top producing agents. Tasha Vine is actually even one of them. Top producing agents at our office that all will volunteer a bit of their additional time. They meet weekly to go over the content of the contracts and forms with you guys. And again, they're actually taking this over. It's a 12-week curriculum based off the states you're licensed in. You'll see that they've got their expertise and specialties listed, but they'll chunk down the content of all the contracts and forms you're responsible for that state, whether it's buyer or seller side, so that you know exactly what to do when you're reviewing the documents, when you're filling them out, and that way you don't have any hesitation when you're sitting down with a client and you're able to disclose their importance, their value, and exactly what they need to do to get them signed. The other great thing about your transaction partner is they're kind of a stepping stone, so to speak, in my opinion. Once you are going to these meetings regularly, sometimes me personally, I love if I built a relationship with someone, I just feel that much more comfortable going to ask them a question. They know me, they know exactly where my head's at. I can go ask them a question really easily. So your T group partner is going to be a great stopping point for you for those questions you may have about a given transaction, a contract or a form. You guys will be able to, if you've got Rob, for example, you'll be able to say, hey, Rob, I've got a quick question about my offer to purchase. I just want to make sure, is this look correct? Did I need to change this one portion here? And he'll be able to give you that insight. And for any reason, if he is not the best person to ask that question, he'll then turn you over and say, you should talk to Sabre about that question. So they're a great stopping point, and the reason for that is they've got a little bit fewer that they're overseeing than both Tasha and Sabre on a regular basis. So if you are one of maybe 40 in their group, they're able to kind of actually sit down with you and have a bigger conversation about that stuff. And they also will recognize your name as soon as it comes across their phone, and they'll be able to answer you right away. So again, keep that in mind. Another fantastic resource. And these are both ones that, like I said, will meet weekly. We highly recommend plug in, guys, because you can learn all this information in advance of that first transaction. You should absolutely do it because it saves you so much time, so much frenzy. It is just well worth the energy and the effort. So please plug in. They are happy to help anybody that they know is engaged and ready to learn and grow. At the bottom here, you'll come across some helpful resources like links and different frequently used websites. There's a much easier way to get that information at the top though, so I'll take us back up. The next tab I usually talk about, and I promise we will pick up some pace as we go through, they get a little easier. Frequently asked questions. This is really just giving you, again, a general idea of what each of us on leadership does. So if you have a question about your agent bill, all you have to do is hover your mouse and it tells you who on leadership is responsible for that task in particular and can best assist you with any questions you've got. So keep that in mind, of course, as you're kind of coming up with these questions, especially as you're getting acclimated to our office for the first time. However, if you don't see your question posted or anything that's kind of adjacent to that question, please reach out to me, guys. I am more than happy to be your kind of dot connector, if you will, and make sure that you're getting in touch with the correct individual, whether that's me giving you their contact information or CCing them right there then and there on an email for you. But again, this just gives you an overview of exactly who you can talk to about different things. The next tab here is our on-demand training tab. You will notice that this is a password protected tab. So those online, I'll let you guys go ahead and write this down somewhere, and in person we'll do the same. However, this will also be password. The next tab after this is password protected. So if you miss it, we will cover it one more time before we move on. So this password is a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. For those of you who know our Wi-Fi password, it is very close to the Wi-Fi password. We changed literally one digit. So it's capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. The on-demand training tab ends up being like everyone's favorite. So on the left-hand side here under on-demand, if you click on this link in particular, that button, it will actually take you to our Keller Williams Valentine YouTube channel. So if you guys are missing any key trainings, maybe you were out sick, maybe you were vacationing, and you genuinely are wondering what may have been discussed because you're absolutely bummed that you missed a particular training, maybe even a team meeting, this is a way for you guys to go back and see what was discussed during that session or that training event. That way you are not missing out on any key updates or information. The other thing I always mention when referring to our YouTube channel is that what you'll notice is that we do have different playlists here. Our playlists are covering exactly what trainings are ever going to be uploaded on here. Again, this is not every single training. This is really those key recurring trainings, making sure that that information is accessible to you and early on in your time here at Keller Williams Valentine. So just so you know where you can find that, the reason we don't post every single thing is first and foremost, not everything's available through Zoom, meaning we don't always have a recording to publish. The other thing to know is that with that being said, we also heavily encourage live training and live participation in that training. Whether you are sitting with your butt in the seat or you are sitting at home and you are paying attention online, no matter what avenue you're going for, something about being live allows you the opportunity to ask your questions in real time. It is much easier to get information and clarity rather than watching a recording and then jotting down questions to try and find the instructor at the next time they may be in the office. So for the sake of yourselves and your training and your education and your growth, I definitely have this here as a resource for you should you ever be out sick, but this is not what I want everyone to rely on as heavily. Please be in person or online as often as you can. And again, just to try and help you that extra bit. It's not to inconvenience you, I swear, but that is something to consider. The other great thing about this is it's a fantastic opportunity. Again, if you've got a complex schedule and maybe certain times really don't work for you because you're dual career, you've got to pick up kiddos, anything like that, this is a great platform for you guys so that you can be getting that information at a time that works best for you. It will take us back to the main page here, but very similar in concept, guys. Command on Demand also exists. If you click on Demand, this takes you to Scott Leroy Marketing's YouTube channel. Hold on, there's a video that's going to be really loud. Hold on. Every time. And it's so hard to catch it when you got to scroll for it. I'm like, oh, it's going to get really loud. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did it do it? So again, phenomenal resource here, guys. This is solely tech focused. All of the recordings here are going to be at either quick tips that were built up by Scott Leroy Marketing, and they tell you right there on the front of the video what it's about, or you can get full-length classes even, and they specify again exactly what the focus point was. But that way you guys have an understanding of how to navigate that technology. Again, if you're complex schedules, you can figure it out at a time that works for you, or maybe, hey, I really am, this is my first time trying to make a smart plan, and it's 9 o'clock, and I definitely don't want to wait on Jules and Leah or bother them this hour, either is fine. You guys can watch a video and then you can get a little bit further instruction. They're screen sharing with you, so it's easy to follow along. And the reason I share this with you guys again is to make sure that usually the biggest hurdle is that technology because it is specific to Keller Williams. So this way you guys have additional support when you need it most in terms of how to navigate that platform, because we want to make sure that that is a seamless process for you because it will simplify everything else. And again, Scott Leroy Marketing, I will tell you, Jules and Leah have a background with Scott Leroy Marketing. They actually worked for them for several years. So you know that our in-house tech coordinators are also very knowledgeable, but this way you guys are getting a ton of great content when it works best for you. The other reason I share this is because in case reading through articles like the FAQs that are posted to answers.kw.com is not the best fit for your learning style, maybe watching more of a tutorial is. This is where you guys can find that exact opportunity. Oh, I'm gonna not, I didn't want to block the screen on you. You're good. Oh yeah, absolutely. Nope, you're good. So it's gonna be, we're in the on-demand training tab, so I'll put my mouse there to make it a little easier. You're welcome. And then the next little bit here, again, just some additional information about Ignite. I do typically email this to you guys as soon as you've got your Keller Williams email. So if you had a little bit more questions on it, you're welcome to refer back to this portion of the website. However, you should have something very handy dandy right in your emails as well. We go back up to the top, guys. Like I said, this next tab here will be password protected. But before we jump into it, I do want to show you that if you just hover over the tab, this is where you can find those advertising guidelines we referred to earlier. So again, when trying to make sure everything you're marketing is in compliance, whether you're provisional broker or broker status, this is where you can find that information. I'm sure also all of us are familiar with the do not call list. So the do not call list is very important. Obviously, we are subject to fines if we call the wrong person. The other thing I actually just found out recently is you can actually be summoned to court in addition to the fine. So really, we really don't want to call the wrong people. So if you guys are curious about who's on that list and getting registered for the first time so you have access to that information, click on that do not call list in the drop down menu and it will make it very simple for you guys to get that information. So that is where you can find it right here on our site. But in addition to that, I will go ahead when you're ready. I can click on it. I see you're writing, so I don't want to. Okay, you're good. I just didn't want to go too fast because I was like, that's a good one to make sure we have written down. So when you click on Office Resources, it will take you again to that password page. It's the same password I've already mentioned, but it is a KW. It's a capital B, lowercase AMC 350. And once you've entered in here, this is one of the other favorite pages, I will say, on the left-hand side, because I know both of us, at least from who I can see, is online. Hold on. Yep. Okay. So it's done. Okay. So in terms of our licenses, right, we're all North Carolina licensed minus myself. So if you guys are looking for Keller Williams firm specific forms for North Carolina, it's as simple as hitting this Get Forms button. It will take you to a Google Drive folder that our broker in charge, Miss Sabra, built up herself. This is going to have our working with real estate agents, our working with real estate agents brochure, our disclosures about our partnerships with title companies, our inner office referral agreements, our W-9 for if you're doing external referrals. So this is going to be where you can find all of the Keller Williams specific forms for Keller Williams Valentine. The reason I say it in such a convoluted way is because what you'll notice, guys, is your state contracts and forms are not going to exist in this Google Drive folder. Those will be available to you through your DocuSign or through Matrix, the zip forms and Matrix, if you use that at all. That's where you can find those state forms. But if you are looking for the KWB specific stuff that you are looking for, because you're like, well, Carl is asking me for a septic and sewer for my file to be approved, and I don't know where that is. It's not in my DocuSign. You can get it right here. That's where your septic and sewer will live. So this is where I just want to show, I always make the joke, but I do genuinely mean it. I think it helps between your DocuSign or your Matrix zip forms and between this Google Drive folder, you guys will have access to all the documents and contracts and everything we're asking for that you'll need for a given transaction. In the event that you are starting out in your DocuSign and you're realizing forms are not coming up that you're looking for, then I recommend come to KWB Resources and check out this Google Drive folder. It's probably living right here. And vice versa, if you start on this Google Drive folder and pull a couple forms, but you're realizing other forms are not shared here, check your DocuSign. That's usually where they live. So between the two, you will have everything you're looking for. But again, this is all the North Carolina specific forms. I'm going to close out just briefly here because just to point out, if you become South Carolina licensed, if you are South Carolina licensed, the equivalent forms for South Carolina live in this folder right here to the right. We make it very easy. In the middle, under Office Checklist, another Google Drive folder. This one's a little bit more impressive in my opinion because each of the checklists we're about to open up to, Sabre created herself from scratch because she's awesome. So when you open up to our Google Drive folder, this checklist is to help you guys out, especially when those first few transactions, because they are not muscle memory right away. And I know that. And there's a lot you guys are responsible for. We want to make sure that, again, we just alleviate that extra stress or uncertainty. We want you feeling comfortable and confident. So reference these checklists, guys. Sabre, again, created them. If you click on any one of them, no matter what side of the transaction you are on, whether it's buyer, seller, if you're even doing a rental, whether you're North Carolina or South Carolina, there's a form in here, a checklist for each of them. And if you scroll through, you can see she gives you an idea of what your task is, when you're responsible for doing it, and you can even sit there and mark off that you've completed each of them to make it one step easier. So follow along with these checklists, guys. You do not have to use them if you don't feel that you need to, but if it gives you that extra boost of confidence, that's why they're here. Especially if it's your first time doing a specific side of a transaction, it just simplifies and gives you one less headache at the end of the day. And you'll see, like I said, you can scroll through and see she's got North and South Carolina, whether it's rentals, listings, buyers, anything like that. It all exists in this Google Drive folder. If you want, print it off so you can sit there and actually go through it. That's absolutely fine. If you do print it off, I will tell you my favorite joke is just maybe don't show your client. That's usually a pretty good dead giveaway that maybe you are a first timer at something. And we don't want that. We want them knowing that we are carrying ourselves with confidence no matter what. So just in case you guys do need that resource, this is exactly where you can find it. Take us right back. Again, we're just under the Office Resources page. Makes pretty clear sense as to why a forms and checklists would exist under Office Resources. If you scroll a little bit further, we do come across the CE shop. So one thing about Keller Williams Ballantine is we do partner with two different real estate education sources, the CE shop and Superior. The CE shop is going to focus predominantly on self-paced education. However, if that is something that speaks to you, it's as simple as hitting find classes. It'll take you right to our dual branded website with the CE shop. So it's very easy for you guys to then navigate and find any of the real estate education sources or access points that you're looking for. The couple things that I point out here, obviously, the first is one thing that's unique about CE Shop is with that self-paced, they do offer a free trial of self-paced learning. That's very rare to come across. And obviously with self-paced being vastly different from in-person participation, sometimes it is important to reiterate that if you guys have ever dabbled with the idea of participating in self-paced, but you just weren't sure if it was right for you, and you're a little worried because you're nervous, maybe it's not going to go well, and I don't want my score to suck. I get it. Obviously, we want you to have an opportunity to test it out for yourselves before you pay for it, before you potentially fail out of it. We don't want any consequences associated with just trying something new. So if you've dabbled with the idea, free trial exists here. You just click right there on that free trial button. You can even check it out for South Carolina licensing if you guys need to go through any of that information. It'll give you 1 week's worth of free trial with the self-paced learning. And if you love it, you can go ahead and drop in your credit card information and continue on with the course. If you hated it and it was not for you and you'd rather go sit in person at Superior, there is nothing wrong with that. It is not for everyone. So in the event that you're in person only or a live on Zoom, that is a-okay. You can walk away with no skin in the game and no consequence to you. The other thing I like to point out in addition, and I do look like a crazy person when I show you guys this, it used to be at the top. Now it's all the way at the bottom in like the finest print known to man. Under Agent Essentials here, hot topics. Just something else I like to point out. I know social media marketing is very big right now, given the time that it is, and just with real estate in general, that's a really easy way to get to a lot of people. So with that being said, the biggest thing if you choose to go that route and have social media marketing as a portion of your business, social media marketing requires you guys, for the most part, to have a very active profile. You're staying in front of people, you're diversifying your content regularly so that you're getting new traffic to your page. There's lots of algorithms at play here when it comes to social media. So in the event that you are looking to post something and man, it is just not anything exciting. I don't have anything under contract. It's just a rainy Tuesday. What do I want to say? It happens, and we want to simplify for you. So, an easy and quick cheat code, so to speak, is to literally copy and paste one of these ebooks, blog, podcast videos, blogs that exist in this library. And it's something that you can hit the easy button one day, know that you've kept your page active. You may even get new traffic for it, but it's all relevant to real estate. So, you yourself can take time to read through, listen, learn, and glean information. Some of these are even more lighthearted for entertainment purposes, but there's also the opportunity to hit that easy button and utilize this as a tool for your social media marketing. And that is really the two things I like to highlight specifically when we're talking about the CE shop. I'll show you exactly how you can get the access to the discount codes through the CE shop website right here. There's an easy way to review all of the discount codes that we have in one spot on this website. So I'll show you that in just a moment here. Also access to the Valentine floor plan. Actually, this is the old floor plan, so this button doesn't even work. Don't worry about it. I'm still waiting to get a digital copy of our current one that I can then upload. In case you guys ever were wondering where to find exactly what you're looking for. The bathrooms are in the main hall. They're not in the floor like they used to be. I will give you that hint right now. As you scroll down a little bit further, you'll also come across numbers to know. The reason this is posted here is these are numbers obviously that are important to have. However, not ones you're asked for very often. So, hey Liz, I did finally go get my South Carolina license. I am so excited, but it's saying here right on the application for that license that I need our firm license number and I'm just not sure what that is. No worries. That information is stored right here. So it's super easy to access. Again, a little more infrequent that you're asked for this information, but we want to make sure that you have it accessible to you should you ever need it. We also have our federal tax ID number. Again, that's when we're talking about referrals and W-9s. Occasionally that number is brought up and is needed. So utilize this, guys. This all exists for you. Also, Wi-Fi information. Our market center number is posted here. So lots of key information in one spot under the office resources. Like I said, if you click on office calendar, it'll take you right where you want to go. Under tech resources, really, I just kind of talk about a couple things. And honestly, most of it we've already touched base on. So, again, out of respect for your time, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. Just know that this menu right here can make it much easier for you to get to a lot of the stuff we've already referred to. Some of it you'll already be recognizing, I'm sure. Under this More tab, it used to be called Helpful Links. So, forgive me if I call it that by mistake. Um, what I like to touch base with you guys on is ALC meeting minutes, for example. If you missed that big meeting where our ALC got together, they talked about decisions about what's happening in the market center and what you can expect moving forward, that's okay. It's not easy to always make every single meeting. And maybe truly you're like, hey, you had an appointment. I don't want you to worry about coming to ALC. If you had a listing appointment, go to that. So in the event you guys are curious what decisions may have been made or what was discussed, you can reference the ALC meeting minutes. There's a Google Drive folder that will direct you to where you can reference meeting minutes throughout the year so far and moving forward. The prayer request form is more of a talking point for me, and it's really just to emphasize how much you guys are considered our family. We mean that from the moment you guys walk through the door. We truly do, and we value obviously everything that's going on in your world. So if there's ever anything going on for you guys that we can assist you with, please just let us know. Even if it's just saying, hey, how are you? Giving you a hug in the hall. We want to make sure that we know what's happening so we can best support you through it. So keep us in mind. We are here to help. Obviously, too, if you do believe in the power of prayer, we are happy to pray on your behalf as a leadership team. And if you're really into as much prayer power as possible, we will tell the market center on your behalf. You just tell us what you're comfortable with and how we can best assist you. We are happy to do it as family. The other thing just below our prayer request form is the KW perks. If you guys are new to independent contracting and are exploring insurance for the first time because it's no longer offered through your employer, that's absolutely understandable. That's a very different ball game, so to speak. At KW Perks, Keller Williams partnered with Capstone Financial. I want to say probably a year and a half ago now. Capstone Financial allows us to now search the marketplace for insurance at a discounted rate. I think I never ever remember to get this stat right before I come in here. I know it's upwards of 10%. So please utilize that if you're looking for insurance for the first time, if you're looking for insurance now as an independent contractor. But also, too, even if you have insurance, it cannot hurt to look. You might be able to find that there's something else better suited for you out there with a better rate. So keep it in mind if you guys are exploring or having any conversations about that in your household. That could absolutely be worth your while. Scheduling a conference room, we mentioned, is going to be the easiest way to make sure you've booked that focus room for your lead gen if you really would like to. KWB firm exclusive listings, a Google Drive sheet. This way, you guys can access constantly what's going on. Obviously, firm exclusive listings do not show up in MLS. So, in the event you're wondering, hey, what's out there? And you're curious, okay, like Jay White, for example, Jay White might have something firm exclusive, so you're not seeing it in MLS, and maybe you're just not seeing anything that's screaming out to your buyers. So you're wondering what's out there. Click on that. It's a live Google Sheet. So that way you guys can see everything in our office that is firm exclusive. You guys will know who the agent is with their contact info. So you can ask them for more information about the property. And it is, like I said, a live document. So as paperwork is submitted to Sabra saying, hey, this is a firm exclusive, I want to know, or hey, like here's my upcoming firm exclusive. She'll log that information into the Google Sheet. So it is an active sheet. It is constantly changing. So something just to have as a tool in your tool belt should you ever need to rely on it. Yep. I honestly don't know enough about that. But that is something that I thought I was told. I'm pretty sure they're not an MLS if they're firm exclusive because they're only being offered to other members in the firm. More questions about that? Ask Tasha Viney, actually. And only because I don't want to give you the wrong information. And I'm 1 degree removed from being licensed, so I don't quite have all the answers that people look for. But yes, that is a great question to ask her because she'd be happy to give you more information. The strategic vendor partners, as I mentioned, we do have a live Google Sheet with all of our vendor partners. So if you forgot to join that Facebook page, or maybe you still were wondering, like, is there someone else maybe I'm missing in this Facebook group? This is where you guys can find all of our vendors. And like I said, a live Google Sheet. So as we add vendors, you'll see them populate right away. But it highlights everybody by the industry or field that they're in. So you guys can easily look and pull multiple quotes from different people so that you can best help your client out and let them make the most educated decisions for themselves. But you'll see right there, you'll have the company name, you'll have our individual contact from their team or their representative, you'll have their email address and phone number as contact information. And if you even scroll over to the right-hand side, you'll see specific services listed as well as their website. So there is tons and tons of information on this site, and we highly encourage you to participate and look at it because this is a great way to impress your clients and be their go-to real estate expert. Even if it's just helping out a neighbor, like, hey, you need a fence? Hey, I know someone, even if they're not listing their property, even if they're not looking to buy, that's a great way for you guys to start building those relationships and helping out. The other thing that I would mention when we're talking about this is you'll notice, for example, fencing. We only have one gentleman currently listed. If you guys happen to know anybody for some of these categories that you've worked with before and absolutely loved, um, you know what? Yeah, give me 1 second, Dalton. I'll be right back. Nope, nope, you're good. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, no, too much joy in this office, too much laughter and enjoyment. I don't like it. I'm just kidding. So when it comes to the fencing category, for example, obviously you'll see that we've only got one gentleman listed. So if you've worked with someone you've loved before, whether it was, again, they were servicing your client for you, or it was somebody in your personal life that helped take care of anything on your own property, please let us know. If they were great to work with, great communicators, they had a great service or product, we want to know. We want to make sure that our vendor program is fully developed and has a lot of great resources and contacts in it. So, in the event that you know somebody, even a family friend, let us know who these people are. It's as simple as just connecting them via email with Angela Bueno. She's currently overseeing our vendor program. And I believe she may have business cards actually up at the front desk, but if not, she does have an office in our main office here. So, it's Angela Bueno. Yep. So she is going to be a great resource. She would happily do kind of all the legwork, really. All you have to do is that intro email saying, hey, Angela, this is going to be a wonderful gentleman that I know. He's a fencer and he does a great job. I've worked with him several times before, and I think he's interested in talking more about the vendor program. Angela will do all the fun, or I should say more unfun parts about explaining what the vendor program entails and anything attributed to it. And that way that she's doing all that legwork. And if they're like, yep, this is a win-win, I really want to be part of that program, they can go ahead and work with Angela to sign paperwork and join our program right then and there. So we'll make it very easy. But that's really just to keep in mind because you will notice that we've got some like construction, for example. We no longer have a construction vendor at this point in time. So if you know a general contractor that you've loved, please let us know. Again, as simple as just introducing them to Angela. and I will go ahead and I'll close out. But again, that was going to be right here under strategic vendor partners. We also have Outfront Magazine. Again, if you're doing that big social media campaigning for your marketing, we want to make sure that, again, you can hit that easy button anytime you need to. So in addition to the CE Shop Hot Topics, Outfront Magazine is published monthly, and it literally highlights an idea for a post every single day of that given month. So if, for example, you didn't have something going under contract and you really want to make sure your social media is staying active and you just don't know what to post, go to Outfront Magazine and use what they're using or what they're suggesting and just let it go. It's that easy. So Outfront Magazine is here to help support you in that social media initiative as well. And then, like I said, the easiest way to access all of our discount codes for real estate education is just by clicking on that bottom piece right there. On the left-hand side, it will take you back to the CE shop. All you have to do is hit the access code button. And on the right-hand side, you'll see we've got some superior codes as well, whether it's pre-licensing, post-licensing, or CE. And you'll see here, and the reason I point this out is each code, each education or class or course is different for superior. They have a different link that's attributed to each. So just make sure that you're paying attention and reading through to make sure you're clicking the right link. The big thing to mention here, CE Shop, our discount codes with them through our partnership, they fluctuate. I believe I've seen it as low as 20%, which is still a deal, and as high as 50%. So something to keep in mind when you guys are going on to get either post-licensing done, continuing education. Maybe you've got a neighbor that's thinking about joining real estate. Make their day, guys. Share pre-licensing with them. They are by no means required to join our firm. They can just enjoy having a discount to get that pre-licensing taken care of. And then same for Superior. Superior, actually, we do have a long-standing 30% off. It will never change. So that way you guys can go in and easily access that information and get access to Superior at a discounted rate too. Same thing, no obligation to join our firm if you choose to share this with anybody. It's just a way to help make someone's day. And then just to show you guys really quickly, I won't click on it, but this Facebook icon at the top here, if you've not joined our main Facebook page with the leadership team and our staff member, or leadership team, and that is our staff members, or our agents here, click on that Facebook icon, guys. It will take you straight to where you want to go. And it will take you right to that page where you can request access. The other thing I always share, and I think both of you are well aware at this point based off the appointments we had, but I need tech help in the top right corner is about to be everyone's best friend. You click on it, this takes you directly to Jules and Leah's calendar where you can book 30 minutes of time with them for free so that you can talk about something one-on-one. Both, just so you are aware, Jules and Leah's knowledge extends well beyond just helping show you the ropes. If you guys ever got to a point of growth in your business where you were more interested in leveraging elements of the technology, whether you were like, hey, social media is doing great for my business, I'm getting so many leads from it, but I hate it, or I don't have the time to continually dedicate to it. You can talk to Jules and Leah. They are happy to discuss different plan options that they have where you can make a payment with them and they can take care of your social media for you for the entire year. So let them know how they can assist you, whether we are talking from teaching it from a foundational level to a high level for free. They will teach you everything they know and you can implement on your own. Or if you're looking to officially leverage and make that somebody else's responsibility for a little while even, they're happy to assist you with that too with concierge marketing services. And you can click on any of these icons, find their available time slots, and immediately book an appointment with them very easily by just inserting your name, your email, specify if this meeting is in person or through Zoom, dependent on your schedule. And then you can share more about what you'd like to discuss with them. So it's that much easier for them to work with you. And that way, no time is wasted when you're sitting down with them. But that is going to be how you can access their tech calendar. Sorry, I hit the back button. I wanted to hit the X. So that is really in short what I typically show you guys because like I said, there's plenty more that meets the eye on this website. I think that's fair to say at this point. So that in short is KWB resources. Again, there's still a few other things on here that you're welcome to explore in your free time, but this is the key information I try to highlight for you as you're first getting acclimated to our office. There is one other additional thing that I usually take like 5 minutes to share with you guys. It is a separate website, however. So if we have any questions, whether that's online Dalton or in person Joanne, if you guys have any questions about what we've seen so far that we've not yet gotten an opportunity to ask, I'd like to give you the opportunity to ask those questions about KWB resources now before I show you something separate. Anything standing out? Joanne says no, so that's good. Okay, Dalton, anything? I'll give you a minute to chat, to type it in chat if you need to, but I will click over just to the next screen here as I'm kind of eyeballing it. So the next screen that I share with you guys, it's mykw.kw.com. Awesome. Thank you, Dalton. I was gonna say, I was like, if you have a question, I will look. So it's mykw.kw.com. You'll see I'm logged in as Leah currently, and I don't know why, but oops. That's okay. I'll log her out before we leave. But mykw.kw.com. Dalton, you probably have some familiarity with this already because you're former KW. So if you know how to do an email blast, you're welcome to kind of take some time to yourself. You no longer have to sit and hang out with us if you don't want to. That's all I'm going to share is how you can do an email blast through the internet. If you don't know how to do that, I will show that to you really quickly. It's not too hard. So mykw.kw.com, the reason exactly why I show you this is because it's how you can create an office email blast that's going to drop in everybody's inbox, whether it's an agent or a leadership staff member. It's a great way, again, just to communicate with everyone all at once in an efficient manner. So you guys are not exerting too much effort, too much energy, or too much time. That's the big thing. So when you first arrive at mykw.kw.com, it will arrive at a login screen. Thankfully, Leah forgot to log out, so I'm already logged in. Your login for this site, guys, is exactly what we created, Joanne, yesterday. It's going to be your login credentials for command. But when you do arrive at the site where I'm showing you specifically, and just as a little bonus because we're talking about it, whitepages.com, it's an internal search engine for Keller Williams agents. So should you ever need to try to connect with anybody or find their contact information, clicking on White Pages allows you to search for specific agents. You could even search areas to find agents in an area, but it's only going to show you Keller Williams agents. And only because we're kind of right there, I like to point that out to you guys as a resource and a tool. But what we're really going to talk about is this intranet option at the very bottom left. It's going to be MC350 intranet. If you click on this, it will take you to our start page. Oops. Oh no, she's logged out. Okay, well, hold on. Let me try one more time. I think it's because of inactivity, but now it should be good. There we go. I was like, oh no. I'm gonna hit yes, save settings. Sorry, Leah. Hope I did the right thing for you. But so when you guys are at the internet, it's okay. She knows how to fix her settings if she needs to. When you guys are at the internet, you'll see here we have a little library of any posts that were already done by agents. So this is stuff that would have come through to you via email at a point in time. You'll also see at the top there, I pinned one. That's one that I posted. I post also about the upcoming trainings and events. So you'll get random email blasts throughout the day, just reminding you about upcoming events so you can easily plug into them. If maybe you missed them on Facebook or hadn't been on Facebook, this is another way for me to reach you in addition for you guys to reach others. So when you are here, we're talking now more about let me make my own post, right? I want to share something with everybody else. It's super easy. You hit this add a post option. It opens up. You guys will not have the Market Center post option. Unfortunately, that's for leadership staff members. However, you will select this associate post button. And then it'll allow you to designate a channel. This does not impact anyone's ability to see your content unless they were filtering in that library by the channel. More rare usually, but it will allow you to designate based off of kind of the categorization for what you're sharing. Agent announcement is going to be the most general. So if nothing else really feels like it's appropriate, agent announcement's an easy one to do. Again, it doesn't change the visibility. The big thing to mention is post title here at the top. You have up to 100 characters to type in. This will come through as the subject line of the email. This is what everyone's going to see come through to their email. You then can go ahead and you can include a link as well if you needed to connect or direct anyone to a website. You can also upload a JPEG or a PDF file very easily, so there could be a visual attributed to this as well. There's also an opportunity to type 190 characters in a post blurb. This post blurb is what comes through as the body of the email. And the reason I'm emphasizing that specifically is 190 characters is not a lot. And sometimes you have plenty more to share. I know I always do. So when I'm sending everything out, what I always do is I give you one or two sentences to start, but I always, always, always make the last sentence. I find a way to give myself enough characters to say, see full post. Because when this email comes through, you'll see the subject line, which is your post title. You'll see the post blurb, which is going to be the body of the email. But then there'll be this blue button right below there that says view full post or view full message. If you click on that button through that email, it will take you right here and you can see all the additional content, because if you needed to add additional content, you can hit right here, add full message, and you can type freely as much additional information as you need to. And the reason that I say all that again is if you have more to share, I obviously want to make sure you know where you can put that information in because 190 is a little bit tight. That's hard to make work. Also to reiterate, I always put the see full post, and that way people just know there is more information. This is not everything I was sharing because if I have to keep it vague in the beginning, I wanted you to know where you can find additional details. So that way people will know, oh my gosh, there's more content. I'm interested. Let me hit that view full message button right now, and then they'll be able to see everything else you're sharing. So again, we've got right here, this is your subject line. You can include a link. This is your body of the email. This would be accessible to them through the body of the email if they select a button called View Full Post, and you can type as much as you'd like here. When you're all said and done, you're happy with everything, all you have to do is hit this Publish Post button and it will go through to everyone's email. It will exist in that initial library that we opened up to, obviously until too many posts happen, just like social media, and it kind of pushes it down. However, people can always still search for that content because it will still exist in here unless you deleted the post. So they will always be able to refer back to it should they ever need to. But by hitting publish post over the next several minutes, it will slowly trickle into everybody's inboxes. The big thing is I don't believe that you guys will receive, I know I do based off of Market Center posts, but I think that's a separate like system, so to speak, in terms of what it does. When doing an associate post, I don't think that you guys will receive a copy of your own email blast to your inbox. So that way you know it went through. So in the event you guys are ever wondering, hey, did that go through correctly? I'm just wondering. Always feel free to shoot me a quick email and say, hey, Liz, I think I just did my first ever email blast. Would you let me know if you see something come through from me? And I'll just keep an eye out on my inbox and I'll shoot you a quick email to let you know, yep, everything looks good. I saw it right away. Great job. And then obviously, if I don't see it in the next 10, 15 minutes, I'll let you know, hey, you might want to check back on that post and see that you published it correctly. If not, let me know. I can help out. But really, again, I just wanted to take a couple more minutes of your time to share with you how you could do this because, again, it's one of those perfect opportunities to exert minimal effort and time in order to have a big impact. And that's huge in real estate because your time is so valuable. And the other reason I say that too is Facebook is wonderful. It's a very common platform for our agents to communicate on, and we would love to have you be part of that page. But as with social media, eventually things can get lost and pushed down. And I just would hate for anything that very important to you or a client of yours to get missed in that thread. So this is just another way that you can make sure your message is delivered across all platforms. You'll see probably several of these come through as well about people announcing new listings or firm exclusives, upcoming open houses that they need someone to help out with, different things like that. I've also seen some come through about like, hey, my seller is ready to go, but they need to unload some of this furniture. They're not taking it. Anyone interested in a washer dryer set? It's $50 each or whatever. They'll send stuff out about that so that they can get that urgency across. So keep that in mind when you guys are trying to relay any messages to the agent body here. But other than that, that is all I had to share with you guys today. Yep, question about that? Mhm. So this is a separate site. So you'll go to mykw.com, mykw.kw.com in order to create an email blast. You'll log into that site, and when you're on that site in the bottom right corner, you'll see something that says MC350 Intranet, and that kind of takes you right to where we are now. However, if you're looking for the communication threads from others coming through, just be logged into your KW email address, have that Gmail up, it will automatically come through to your Gmail. Yep. Yep. Every message from anyone else will come through to your new KW email. Yeah, great question though. Any other questions other than that? Because if not, I did take up a little additional of your time today, and I just reiterated so many times how much I respect you guys' time because it's so valuable. So now I actually want to uphold that and let you guys get about your day. But if you have any questions, please, of course, let me know. Dalton will keep my eye on the chat one more time. But if you feel good, you are welcome to, of course, be dismissed. I just want to say thank you both for your time today. I know it's not always fun to jump into a training first thing in the morning. So I appreciate all of you for being here and hanging out with me this morning. I hope we learned something. There's a lot to it. And if at any point when you're going back and you're trying to retrace your steps or figure out where you found something, just let me know if you've got any questions along the way. It's as simple as calling me, shooting me an email, or coming by my office, and I'll absolutely happily show you the ropes again. Yay. Well, thank you. And it looks like I think Dalton's good, but I'm gonna keep my eyes here just one more time. But you're welcome to enjoy the rest of your day, Joanne. Hang out with us as long as you'd like. And if not, then we'll see you soon. Oh, okay. No worries. Perfect. Well, All right, Dalton, I'm gonna assume that we're good because it sounds like, yay. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, I think we're good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you like for contributing in the chat. That's not normally something I ask everyone to do. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I will end this call now and enjoy, guys. Thank you. All right.